Kemba Walker made his return for the Celtics in their disappointing loss against the Nets on Tuesday night here at TD Garden. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Mike Petraglia and Josue Pavon. It was the first game back for Walker since the All-Star break. He's been dealing with that nagging knee issue. Obviously, the attention was kind of brought off of his return because of the epic collapse and the fact that this was one of the Celtics' worst losses in recent memory. But how do you think he looked in his first game back?
Not bad. Offensively, to get 21 points in 23 minutes on that minutes restriction, he was getting good lift, I thought, on his jump shot. He hit a couple of three-pointers. Defensively is where I thought you could tell some of the effects of rustiness in terms of his ability to move side to side and test that knee. And the Nets were smart to test that early on. A couple of them, including LeVert, who had 51 points, blew right past Kemba Walker. And you would expect him to be a little bit slow. So the Celtics tried to help him out defensively early on in this game. But overall, I thought it was a good comeback game for Kemba Walker. Will not make the trip to Cleveland. The Celtics are going to play it cautious, as they should.
As they should, yeah. Offensively, I agree. He looked great. He could get to his spots. He was crossing people over, made the crowd go ooh and ahs. Yes. That we've seen from Kemba all the time. But we're talking about since the All-Star break here, he hasn't played. So defensively, that's to be expected. And I'm not surprised. Also, it's encouraging to see that from the offensive end because obviously he's going to be very important moving forward. And I like that the Celtics aren't going to rush him back. Second half of back-to-back, let him rest, let him get these days off here and there, these games off, and when it really matters, then you can put him back into the lineup. I think Brad Stevens honestly has a lot of other things to worry about aside from Kemba Walker.
One thing that I'd also like to add about Kemba is you could tell the other four players, when Kemba was on the court, moved well without the ball. And
that's true.
When Kemba had the ball in his hands, it looked like the other Celtics were comfortable with what he was doing, and they were playing off him very well. And that's really impressive and shows Kemba's leadership, having missed the last 5 games.
Robert Williams also making his return, his first game back on the court since December 6th. That was a really long layoff for him with that hip injury. He was so eager to get back out on the court. And he played really limited minutes, at least until the end of that fourth quarter. He played about 3 minutes through the majority, through like 75% of the game. But then he did look to be quite impactful when the game came down to the wire.
And I'm glad he got those reps in. I'm glad that Brad Stevens had him in the game in those last final minutes of the fourth quarter. He looked confident, in my opinion. He looked like he was ready to go. Yeah, exactly. He looked like he was ready for anything that was in front of him, whether it was defensively or on offense. I thought he did a really good job setting screens and just being active on both ends. And I hope that continues. I still have hope for Time Lord. We've been talking about this the last couple of months, Sierra. How long I've been repeating it over and over again. This guy could give you valuable minutes in the postseason off the bench, and this is the time for him to get these reps in heading into the postseason. So keep it up, Time Lord, and I'm expecting to see a big game out of him from when they head down to Cleveland.
A true rim protector, and maybe Time Lord is the guy that they can use maybe late in games to play alongside another big if Brad decides to go with the Twin Tower effect. I will tell you this, the Celtics need better defense at the rim, and they need bigger bodies in the paint. The last 2 losses in overtime against the Rockets and the Nets here on Tuesday, they've been abused in the paint late in games. And offensive rebounds have really killed the Celtics. So you'd like to see Robert Williams in there, maybe using his acumen in and around the basket to pull down some key defensive rebounds.
This Garden Report is brought to you by CarShield, America's #1 auto protection provider. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention code GARDEN, or head to their website at carshield.com and use code GARDEN if you want 10% off. For all of our Celtics content, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.